The first 4 videos in this training were about radical listening and vulnerability and how to use it to support yourself and those around you. Now we're going to take a look at what it looks like to practice support in action and bring it to your communities.
If you're watching this video, you've probably participated in a traditional door knocking canvas, where you typically spend 2 to 5 minutes tops at the door. In deep canvassing, we look to foster greater trust and stronger relationships by making the door conversations longer and deeper.
Deep canvassing helps us, 1, to deepen understanding between people, 2, build stronger relationships, 3, create long-lasting impact on the voter or resident, and 4, unroot deep biases.
Across the country, groups are using deep canvassing to tackle thorny issues like abortion, rights for transgender people, and racial justice. We've used it to tackle issues in Boston like gun violence, school discipline, and charter school expansion. So how does deep canvassing work?
Well, step 1, you need to decide on the issue and gather interested volunteers. In Boston, our youth organizers decided an issue that they cared about deeply was school discipline, namely school suspensions. Through consensus, we decided to deep canvass a diverse neighborhood in Boston about the topic using the question, do you believe school suspensions are effective?
Step 2, train your volunteers and develop a script collectively. With food and in a relaxed location, we spent close to 75 minutes developing a script that allowed us to build a relationship with the person at the door, ask probing questions, and share our personal experiences and perspectives. It was at this stage that we also used the listening partnership to discover what stories we felt comfortable sharing at the door. When developing the script, it's important to ask your question at the beginning of the conversation to gauge where they stand on the question, and then again at the end of the conversation to see if their perspective has shifted. Usually, you want the person at the door to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. This allows them to interpret where they stand for themselves, instead of relying on the canvasser to guess or interpret.
Step 3, go out and knock on some doors. The young people paired up and made sure that they were on the same page about who would lead the conversation for the first door, second door, and so forth. Along the canvas, we made sure to use listening partnerships to process anything hard or difficult about the deep canvas. Some focused on being nervous to talk to folks at the door, others reflected on something profound that was said, and others were there just to process anything that was said that was offensive.
Step 4, debrief, refine the script. Most of our debrief we spent laughing about interactions and conversations, especially those that were hard, and also reflecting on our favorites. We used the debrief time to take a look at the script again and consider how it might be improved. Sometimes improving requires refining the question so that it's less confusing to a person at the door.
And remember, you're in this for the long haul. Deep canvassing is most effective when it is done consistently over a long period of time in a geographic area. When voters in Massachusetts were given the option of lifting the cap on charter schools via referendum, over 25 young people knocked on close to 20,000 doors over a period of 6 months across the state, using deep canvassing techniques to defeat the referendum and listening partnerships to sustain the work. Check out the resource list for more information on how to execute a deep canvas. Keep watching as we highlight a specific technique that makes deep canvassing conversations, actually all conversations, go well.